Thank you, Chairman. Ambassador Hale, you're in essence the #3 guy at the State Department, is that correct?
Correct.
You represent roughly 70,000 folks?
I would say I represent them. I'm part of them. I'm one of them, yes.
Well, you are part of a pretty fantastic workforce that I've been proud to be able to serve alongside. We share time together in Pakistan. And so thank them. I know they oftentimes don't get the pats on the back or the accolades for what they do for our national security, but there's some of us that do recognize that and appreciate that. Did anybody raise issues to you, Ambassador Hale, about investigations to Bidens or Burisma?
No, sir.
Thank you. Ms. Cooper, you have a great staff. I don't think my staff would have read my 115-page deposition and gave me feedback, so give them gold stars. You said in your deposition, and you just confirmed with my colleague from California, that you certified on 23 May that the Ukraine aid for the review of their defense industry and Department of Defense, was past the corruption test. Is that correct?
Sir, I think the wording was more along the lines of progress has been made or sufficient progress has been made. It didn't reference any kind of an anti-corruption test per se.
Did this change, or was there a reevaluation with a new president coming in? Because President Zelensky was inaugurated in office 2 days before that date. Did that have an impact on how he was going to continue some of those pieces? Was that taken into account in this review?
Not prior to May 23rd, no, sir.
So the review was basically done on the efforts done by the previous Poroshenko administration?
Yes, sir, although it's important to note that the review related most specifically to the Ministry of Defense.
Sure, but there were ultimately changes under the Zelensky regime, is that correct?
Yes, sir, there's a new Minister of Defense.
Can you explain, I know FMF, Foreign Military Financing, is State Departments, but can you explain the difference between FMF and USAI funding, and also how the Ukrainians get lethal aid?
I'm sorry, could you repeat the last part of that? Also, how the Ukrainians
actually get lethal aid, because is lethal aid covered under one of these two buckets?
So there are 3 separate pieces to our overall ability to provide equipment to the Ukrainian armed forces. The first is the Foreign Military Finance System, which is a State Department authority, and countries around the world have this authority. That authority is used for some of the training and equipment. There's also the Ukraine Security Assistance Initiative. That's a DoD authority. Unlike the state authority, the DoD authority is only a 1-year authority. And then third, there's the opportunity for defense sales. And that is something that we're working with the Ukrainians on now so that they can actually purchase U.S. equipment. But the Javelin specifically was provided under FMF initially, and now the Ukrainians are interested in the purchase of Javelin.
And there wasn't a hold put on purchasing of equipment, is that correct?
Not to my understanding, no.
Can I ask you a non-impeachment inquiry question, Ms. Cooper?
A non-what?
A non-impeachment inquiry question.
Sir, my time is yours.
What can we be doing to help the Ukrainians defend against Russian electronic warfare? What more can we be doing to help the Ukrainians defend against electronic warfare by the Russians? Good question.
Well, what I can say in an open hearing is that there actually is some electronic warfare detection equipment that is included in the USAI package. So there's a piece of capability that we're already working to provide them. I think this specific topic, though, is more suitable for a closed-door session.
That's a good copy. Thanks for both of y'all's service to our country, and Chairman, I yield back.